Back on the air again after a brief break. The head of production here is breaking up all of the games into separate files, and they're going to be downloadable, or how will they?
On the website, we're going to have a link where you can upload. It's Google file where you have going to have all the games.
Okay.
Is on one file, which is quite a huge 17 gigabytes. But anyway, there is all the games from Tuesday.
That's why we take technical timeouts in between each game now in order to break up the files. And it doesn't mean that there's any problem with the internet. It's simply that we have to do that in order to prevent the files from being too large, which we did the first day. But you can excuse us for that, and you have to work with it yourself if you download it. So we just watched a close match, a tie game between Denmark and Turkey. And Turkish women scored early when, let's see, who was it who scored? It was it Dilan Karsiler? I think she was the one who scored. And later, was during a power play. But Denmark came back with a goal after stealing the basket, and a 1-1 tie. Now we're about to watch Norway and Finland. The game has begun. And Norway is in blue, Finland in white. Norway is seeded 1 or 2, depending on how you want to look at it. Favored to be in the finals. And it's going to be tough for Finland, but the Finnish women are experienced, and they know whom they face and the challenge that they have. As you can see, Norway is working around the goal. Finland, a Finnish back, picks up the ball. She swims up and then sideways, does a somersault, and makes a pass that's partially blocked or deflected. Then the ball bounces on the bottom. The Finnish goalkeeper comes off, hands it to the back. She has to swim laterally to avoid the forechecking. They would need to clear the zone, and now they're getting closer. They're doing a lot of work to get out of the zone. It's impressive, but it's a pace that's going to be difficult, and now they've lost it, and Norway coming in. She does not go to the goal, but it goes up in the corner, and she's going to look for, it comes down to a couple of passes. They don't swim it in, they pass downwards and come in. Now they're working in the goal area, locked up. Drifting to the surface, a Finnish player rips the ball away, but she's immediately tackled and loses it in turn. Norway passing over in the center, and the extended ball briefly taken by the back, then taken by a Norwegian player, and then again by a Finnish player who comes out about 4 meters out away from her goal. So Finland is playing well with a lot of energy, but they have to swim a lot in order to avoid the Norwegian forechecking. It's going to be tiring to play like this. Norway's reads the game well. So about 3 minutes have been played in this first half. Scoreless still. And Norwegian player signals that she's being held. And the referee does not help her out. Instead, it's Finland with the ball, but tied up. They drift up to the surface. The ball comes down to Finnish player. She passes down to a teammate. Now they're coming over. This is one of the first times they've gotten over to the Norwegian goal. Finland maintaining possession. Putting an attack on the Norwegian goal. Games become now Norway has a fast break. She goes up to the surface, and 2 passes later, they've got it to the bottom. And the Norwegian player comes in from above. She's got working with the goalie. She's enveloped by 2 forecheckers, and the Finnish forechecker comes up with the ball. Norway regains possession, and they come in from above. Finland takes the ball, trying to clear the zone. And a pass sinks to the bottom, batted briefly by the Norwegian player, and Norway holds on. Zero tie here after about 6 minutes of play. Tommy Suomalainen, the coach of Finland. Norway takes the ball and moves halfway across before losing it. Finland's putting in an impressive performance. Very active. Aggressive forechecking. Norway comes over to the corner. They like to do this, go to the surface in the corner here, pass it down, and then put together an attack. Referees buzzer sounds.
2 minutes, white team, 7 players in the water.
Finland has messed up the exchange. They had too many players in the pool, and that means a 2-minute penalty. It's going to be a power play for Norway. timeout called. So, timeout called by Finland. So, a real opportunity for Norway here on an exchange mistake by Finland. Finland has a player in the penalty box. Irina Viipula is sitting in the penalty box. It doesn't mean that she's the one who made the mistake. I think you could send out any player to serve in the case of an exchange mistake. So Finland manages to tie it up on the surface, which is the right way to kill the penalty. And they're fighting to get this ball. And now Norway has it. They come in and trying to use this power play. They've got an attack on, but it's being forced up. And Finland takes the ball, tries to clear the zone. Free throw.
Blue free throw, holding.
Holding called against Finland. So a free throw while there's a power play on. And Norway has the goalie's back neck and she's moving around. The ball is close to being into the basket, but no, the goalie manages to latch onto it, but the Norwegian attack continues and they're coming in again. It's maybe the third wave, you could say. And they're coming on the right side and now switch it over to the left. Yeah, it's a total offense here. But Finland is at full strength again. The power play is over. Very good job by Finland to survive that power play without surrendering a goal. Norway now has the ball. And they're going back to the corner to begin play. They drop it down to a player below. And Finnish women come in with an aggressive forechecking and make it very uncomfortable there. And now one on two. She chucks it down, and the back picks it up. She hoped that one of her teammates would come and take it, but instead it was a Finnish player. Hard to say if it was a mistake or one of the famous Norwegian blind passes. Now they're coming in, and the Finnish goal is insecure for a moment, but Finland has firmed it up. Finland playing very well here against number 1 or number 2 seed in the competition. About 3.5 minutes left in the first half here. 0-0 tie. Most of the possession has been in favor of Norway, but the Finnish team has been fighting well. And they're trying now to take it to the other side. Bit difficult to see what's happening here. Yes, it's yeah. Here we are. Norway. Free throw, Norway. Here in the first half. Norway by the goal. Trying to Finland has brief possession, but loses it. Tied up. Norway hovering on the outside, looking for the pass back to the corner. They like this position. Player will now come underneath below her to take the ball. As you see right there. Game's become somewhat static now, but a swarm of players heads down to the basket, and Norway's trying to create some kind of scoring opportunity, but Finland's got a pretty tight defense here, really. Norway up to the surface, and then a pass down, and then a pass over. Oh. That's the half. Scoreless in the first half. Very, very good for Finland to hold Norway scoreless. here are some of the Finnish spectators. It's a pretty good result for Finland so far that they have managed to slow Norway down almost all the time.
It's hard to say because the screen is, the sun is shining, so we couldn't see how they playing in the attack sides, but the defense was good. They both strikers do the brilliant job, I think.
So this is a good result for Finland so far. If they can keep on and get a tie from Norway, that would be like a win.
Yeah, of course the winning is the better, but the rise, I think it's good for Finland.
So there we have it from Tom Holmbeck, that a tie would be a good result for Finland, and I think so too. Coach Tommy Suomalainen giving instructions to his players. And on the other side of the pool, Norway is talking over what they're going to do differently. Norway's coach is a veteran player who's retired after Helsinki or Kali, but Carina Haglund is a big scorer. No, she played after winning gold in Helsinki. So we'll find out now if Norway has gotten motivated by this tieless first half. And they're in the water saying to each other, yep, yep, yep. On the other side of the pool, Finnish players look pretty relaxed. These teams are experienced. There aren't very many new young players, so nerves are not as critical. They have a lot of match toughness. Yes, well, we have some, it's also a technical problem, but I mean, it's simply the camera can't adapt to this strong. We have extreme conditions here. Outside, there's a bright sunlight, and through some of the windows in the pool, they're signaling to the camera, so we don't have direct control over the sensors and everything. But basically, as Hanu said, the most important thing is to have light. If you don't have light, you can't have any kind of good picture. So we should be happy. And there we have a brilliant picture. Yes. So the game begins. Now, I'm sure most people will be really curious to find out if either of these teams is going to do anything different. I don't think that Finland should have so much of a different strategy. They've just been forechecking as hard as they can. Does Norway have some way to break through this tight Finnish defense? And here we see Finland trying to come across on the bottom with the ball tied up. Free throw in favor of Finland. Norway up to the surface, and 2 passes later, what's happened? The ball is over by the Finnish goal, but we can't really see what's happening. Norway referee sounds the horn. Yes, it's a lot of light concentrated on one spot in the pool, and that makes it difficult to film. Finland puts the ball into play. And a pass over to the right side. And the Norwegian defense settled in. Norway takes the ball. Can they clear the zone? With difficulty. Finland's not letting them get out of there easily at all, but they do. And we're now to the other side of the pool. Norway up in the corner, looking to come down hard from the corner. This is their practice technique. She'll pass down to another player. Will pass to another player, and maybe the player who initially had the ball will follow up by getting a pass herself. Struggling here on the bottom is Norway. 0-0 tie here, still in the second half. This has got to count as a positive result so far for Finland to be tied with Norway. But Finland needs to win, though, really, although a tie would be. Difficult to make out what's happening at times because of the sunlight. But goal! Norway has scored. Norway has scored. So 1-0 now in favor of Norway. I think it was Katrin Rashmoyo. Let's double check that. It was number 15? Number 2. Okay, my mistake. That goal was scored by Marie Braticek. Number 2. Finland trying to work its way out of a 1-0 deficit, and Norway has the ball. And one of the problems with facing Norway is that they can go into the corner and kill time with passes up and down. I don't know if they'll resort to that right now. They'll probably try to keep going for goals because there's 8 minutes are left and they'll want to score another goal. But if they get another goal, they can just go into the corner and kill the clock. Finland takes the ball, breaks away from a tackler, turns around and has more trouble. Free throw. Choking. Timeout called. Timeout called by Finland. Finland has called a timeout here. So there you got a sense of what the Norwegian huddle was all about. And I think that Katrin Hoglund was telling them to roll back when they came in. They were going to not get locked up, roll back and come back in again. That's my guess when I'm not fluent Norwegian. And of course, Finland has to get on the scoreboard here with under 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. But they have the ball and they're moving over, but it's taken by Norway. And Norway's coming in with a fast break. She's got the goalie's back. It's a back seizes the ball and ties her up, but it was an unpleasant situation there for Finland. Holding. Finland outside the Norwegian goal, looking for a way in, but the Norwegian defense is really solid. You can see that they have players there. They've got 4 players engaged. Back, goalie down the back, and a couple of forwards even. And they take the ball back again, go up to the surface. You are watching Finland and Norway. Norway has a 1-0 lead. Finland has played well, but this goal is going to be hard to overcome. Finland passing on the outside. And very, very solid defense. Finland on the outside looking for some kind of angle, some kind of opportunity, but they lose the ball, and Norway tries to, a little bit of was a careless pass, and Finland has dragged them up to the surface where they, in a scrum, Finnish players got a scissors grip on the Norwegian, and she eventually breaks free, passes the ball down. Holding called against Finland. Norway will have a free throw. Norway with possession in the Finnish, on the perimeter of the Finnish basket. Now they've got 3 players coming. This is a strong attack. And they decide to retreat, go back to the surface. A player goes over to the weak side. Finland has 2 minutes to turn this around. They need to get the ball and get to the other side and score within 2 minutes. They have the ball now, and a pass down gives them an opportunity, but they're backed up. But now they have two. It'll be 2-on-3, and Norway snatches it away, and it's going to be a counter attack. Fairly quick. She dumps it down to the bottom, and no player from her team came to pick it up. She went down and tried to get it herself, and they now have the ball by the finished basket with a 0-1 lead, 1.5 minutes left. So Norway is going to come away with a 1-0 victory. Since they have a really solid defense, it's just pretty much impossible for Finland to get through with so little time left. Finland does have the ball, and they're headed over to the right side, but the pass is, even though they're going through, they're getting chased. And, oh, Finland got close to the basket. That was 26 seconds left. "17 seconds left. Clock is ticking out here. Good match. "3 seconds. That's the end of the game here. And we break the transmission now for a minute so that we can separate files, and we'll return at 5 o'clock.